What is your gut instinct on this best of three here? Who do you think is going to continue on the upper brackets? Who's dropping down to the lower brackets with German Academy?
Great question, Kexman. To be honest, my personal favorite right now is Speedrun Last Place Any percentage due to the fact that I won yesterday. But I had a little talk with one of the MVPs yesterday, Ulahinho, and he was maybe a little afraid that they ended up getting knocked down into the lower bracket here in the next game, and then they thought they maybe had an easier route to the finals. But honestly, I'm gonna put my money on Speedrun in this game, and I hope we get maybe a flag map and we can see some brilliance from Ulahinho again.
Fingers crossed, maybe we will see something interesting from these two teams. But as we mentioned, the first map in this best of three is decided by our battleground wheel, our map roulette. So let's head over to that wheel and see exactly what is going to happen between Speedrun and Without Boost. As mentioned, we have yet to see Eye of the Storm. We did see all of the other maps yesterday. Let's spin this wheel and find out what happens. And while we're spinning the wheel, Licro, what would you, if you're either of these teams, is there a map that you would want to avoid?
Oh, I feel like both of these teams aren't really too worried about any of them. I think they're going to be super comfortable on any of them. Obviously, I want EOTS, but you know, this wheel hates me for some reason. But Warsong Gorge, fantastic map. These two teams are great on flag maps. They both got great offenses.
Yeah, and Warsong Gulch, as we mentioned before, is actually a really solid choice for the first map of a best of three series because, again, it gives them an opportunity to really kind of stake their claims when it comes to sort of like setting out. If you are able to take the victory in a Warsong Gulch against these teams, because every single one of these teams is incredible, that they play some incredible games, then they realistically set themselves up for the second map. The second map is decided by the losers of this first game. Warsong Gulch, Eddie, how do you feel about this?
Well, I think this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a 2-1 for Speedrun, in my opinion. I think they're going to get 2 caps. Now, I am quite excited as well from the fact that Warsong Gold, as you mentioned, it is the map everybody knows. It is the OG of World of Warcraft, similar to like Dust 2 in Counter-Strike. You can't play the game without knowing this map, and I think it's going to be tight, but I'll give the edge to Ulahinho in this, my personal favorite.
I mean, you take a look at what Twitch chat. I mean, we're looking 45% for Speedrun Last Place Any percent, 55 for Without Boost. So again, this is very close. Twitch chat, they're not sure about who's going to be taking this. Looking at Warsong Gulch, looking at the two teams that we have here, before we head into the game, Licro, are there any players that people should specifically keep their eyes out for when it comes to making these plays that can change the map in their favor?
Definitely be looking at on Speedrun. Definitely be looking at Cruzier and the Boomkin. This guy, fantastic RBG player, known him personally for many years, and he's also a fantastic PvE player. So he knows his rotations. He knows what to be hitting. His awareness is absolutely fantastic. And on Without Boost, again, I've mentioned his name before. Keep an eye on Hyoka, the Warlock. Fantastic multi-rank 1 arena player also, and also a complete top tier RBG player, and also a friend of mine. I love all of these guys, and so I wish them the best of luck, and I'm so excited for the series.
Eddie, anybody else that you want to potentially add to that list that we should be looking out for?
We should be looking out for RBG. We have seen the impact of Demon Hunters on this map, and I'm excited to see if the Russians adapt one into their team as well. But I would say that for offensive, we should have a look at RBG and of course the Rogue customer support. I think these 2 players will be the key, of course, in combination with their defensive tank, Ulahinho.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. And Warsong Gulch is an interesting one because we've mentioned this a couple of times, and for those folks in chat that aren't necessarily up to scratch on rated battlegrounds and battlegrounds in general, we've spoken about how important it is for you to get the secondary cap, how important it is for you to be the second team to pick up the flag. Do you want to give a quick explanation for exactly why that is, Eddie?
Yeah, well, it's quite simple. So in this meta we see right now in this season is that people play with a Guardian tank, and a Guardian tank is very reliant on the cooldown, especially the one called Incarnation. Incarnation for a Guardian gives him 30 seconds invulnerability, and he basically can't be CC'd. So the goal is to start the race first, and that means that you try to find the enemy Guardian first and have uptime on him, pause his cooldowns, and that puts your tank in a better position for the evolving game.
Yeah, and we've seen it a couple of times in regards to making sure that, you know, players are going across the map with the flag, whether or not it's a bluff that they want to get that extra flag carrier picking up and then switch around. We saw it on the previous map. Taking a look here, we do obviously see on the side of Without Boost some names that we are very familiar with, as mentioned before, and Hyoka on that Warlock. We need to be very, very aware of that. We do see a Death Knight on the side of Without Boost as well, and we've spoken about how powerful they can be on a map like Warsong Gulch. On the side of Speedrun, we see Revs on that Demon Hunter, very, very effective. But again, previous Warsong Gulch that we saw, Death Knight almost neutralized the Demon Hunter. Is that going to happen in these opening minutes? Talk us through it, Licro.
Well, personally, as you can see, neither of these teams have opted to play the double boomkin on Speedrun. They've decided to take Revsy on the Demon Hunter. I think that's a good trade instead. But then again, with their boost, they've opted to go for the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest, a very, very strong class in RBG. Personally, I think it's massively underrated, and I don't think it gets the attention that it needs. And especially in the hands of Mick, that's his name in Russian. Absolute fantastic Shadow Priest. This guy is like a one trick. I don't think I've ever seen him play anything else. And I imagine that, like I say, usually how these flag maps go, be a bit of a standoff, try and get some damage, try and squeeze a few cooldowns out of each other's healers, and you know, then maybe find an opportunity to get that pick. And if you can get across the map, you're going to see people in stealth running around. As you can see, Hapik on the top of the screen there, just going to pick the flag. He's going to have the defense. People are running with him. You know, it's all about posturing right now. Imagine it's like the Roman Empire, two teams on the battlefield, standing off against each other, looking for the best opportunity and conditions to fight each other in.
And this is Eleno. Obviously, we've spoken about Eleno across all of these maps. Picking it up first, we actually see Troy's picking this up on the side of Without Boost. And again, we've seen this in a couple of Warsong Gulches. The Boomkin picking up the flag early and getting across the map as quickly as possible. But once again, you wouldn't expect them to last as long as a Guardian Druid. Customer support here, giving Eleno as much cover as they possibly can. Eleno actually taking a second, looking around the map, seeing which is the best way to go. And this does almost feel to me as though they are aware that the pick from Troy's immediately drops it. It does look as though it has been returned to the base. So once again, that was a beautiful, beautiful bait here between these two teams.
Yeah, and especially great awareness by Olohenio as well, kiting away from the 2 DPS. He's also aware that the rogue is most likely defending his own tank in this situation. Olohenio is crossing now. He still has his Incarn though. It's probably going to be after this MC here. We're going to see the Incarn coming out here. He's taking a lot of damage as well. It's a few cooldowns, but he should be fine. We know Guardians, they are quite the bear. And again here now we see Without Boost picking up the flag as well. But Revsy, as mentioned, he has pressure on him. He's on him like he needs to.
Okay, we saw some big star surges coming in from Troy's onto Olohenio. He's got the Incarn up. He needs a cooldown. Fashion is down also, so now there are only two healers. I imagine that we're going to see. Well, Hapik has no Incarn left, and then he's going to be running across the map now. He needs help from Fawler, his Holy Paladin. Hyoka's there to respond with the help, peeling him off, peeling Revsy off him. But Olohenio, he looks like he's got through. He looks like he's safe. So I believe right now all attention's going to be on Without Boost to see if they can survive here.
The problem is, Without Boost also lost ABC there. Fashion dropped, and then ABC, as soon as Fashion came back up, ABC dropped as well. This is looking really, really rough. We do see that Revsy isn't over there. There goes the flag. Is this going to be a Cappy? Eleno needs to get through, but again, under so much pressure, that spear stopping him. And that is a fantastic spear. They're going to get the return. Will they get the return? It doesn't look. It's actually been picked up by Lera. Is Lera going to be able to cap this one? Lera's still moving forward, but once again, the stun's coming through. They still need to get through a lot of offense from the side of Without Boost, and it looks as though it has been returned. Whether
Lera capped it. He got the cap. He did
get the cap. Sorry, he did get the cap. I do apologise. I was just looking at the on the side, but what a great play from Lera there.
Yeah, and this guy is pre-MVP. Yeah, as Lico says, he's fantastic. Leralol is probably regarded. He's a newcomer to the RBG scene, but he's already regarded as probably the best rested druid to enter the bracket in these last years. And again, when it comes down to the flag dropping, it's all about who can click it fastest. And today he had the quickest finger, and he even managed to get on the flag spot. And honestly, this puts last place in probably the best position. Ulahenyo can simply sit in the enemy base, wait for without boost to be close to crossing, and then pick it up late. And we see now he's sprinting, and he's probably gonna insta pick in and start running. Like they need to force something, but I would say the upper hand is right now for last place.
Yeah, I mean, you see Fashion going down as well, and with that boost, they've picked up the flag, but again, losing that healer, losing 1 or 2 players, it doesn't seem like much on a map like Warsong Gulch, but it just destabilizes you, it puts you on that back foot, but then you take a look at the damage coming across on the side of Speedrun, customer support dropping super low, Sublex dropping low as well, but it looks as though they have been able to stabilize, and again, without boost, they now have a full complement. Fashion is back, but take a look at the mana on the side of ABC and the Paladin, that's not going to get any better anytime soon. We do see the Druid coming across, that Guardian Druid. Again, fantastic flag carrier. Revsy is there. They got to be careful, because if that Demon Hunter gets uptime, it's going to be a really, really difficult job. We still haven't seen the pick on the side of Oleno doing a very good job at taking their time, making sure Harley just gets absolutely deleted there by the Shadow Priest. And that's the danger that we were talking about. But once again, Oleno going in for the pick. It looks as though they are going to be grabbing it here. And it's perfectly played here by Oleno, knowing exactly when to get the flag, knowing exactly the right moment, and immediately having the support with them as well.
But now Hapik straight into the base. Ulahino's got the flag. And does he have his Incarn available? He does have his Incarn available. He doesn't want to press it too soon, because he has got the support of his team. And I don't see the Rogue. The Rogue isn't there, but he's running into him very soon. He's about on ramp. Olahino's coming down the tunnel. He's got his whole team here to defend him right now, though. So I believe he's going to get through pretty unscathed. Maybe he might even opt to run onto their roof. I would not be surprised if Olahino wants to run into the roof. Exactly what I just said. He's going to run up there, force them to come up, take the long way, and then he's just bought so much time. This is Olahino. This is tough Siri. He knows how to tank. He knows RBG. Eddie, you know best about that.
Yeah, definitely. And it was great decision making. You could see he was arguing, do I go through graveyard? Do I go through toilet? No, you know what? I'm gonna go to the enemy roof. That's the safest place right now. And he's just, and this is what defines great tanks. Who can find the small hole, the small dent in the enemy defense where he can sneak past through the lines and get to his own base. And honestly, I would kind of favor, honestly, with our boost right now, because Ulahenyo still has to cross.
Yeah, he still has to get across, and the longer he waits, the more stacks he's going to have from that flag, meaning the more damage he takes. It all depends on just how well they can get across, and there's the charge coming out, making sure to see if he can get across. It is going to be super close. They're trying to get these grips out, but it's just not working on them. They're being shut down by Without Boost. Without Boost doing a great job there, and this is going to be a long journey for Oleno to get across to the other side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just not. He still has his Incarn available, but the Siphon's up and he's just outranged that. But he's got them connecting. I would not be surprised if Ulahino pops his Incarn, but he doesn't. I don't think he needs to right now. He's got through without having to press it, and this is huge. And now Hapik is being connected onto. Revs is being slowed in the back now. They're going to be on some roots on him. Lerolol's trying to slow the enemy team down so that so the players can connect. But you know, running into the midfield now, this is a very classic RBG tactic. If you're in trouble, you run all the way close to the enemy base, you do a big circle around the map, make them work for it. You don't give them an inch in this, because if you give the enemy team an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah, unfortunately, Oleno's going up here, and he is looking as though he may potentially run into the Shadow Priest, and we've spoken about how dangerous these Shadow Priests can be against Guardian Druids. He does have Sonar and Harley here to keep him healed, but take a look at the mana on the side of Sonar. It is looking pretty low. Harley pretty much on full mana though, so I wouldn't imagine it's in too much danger, but needs to still be very careful. And this is the moment that we've seen in a couple of Warsong Gulches. Is going to be interesting to see how the defenses versus the offenses match up when they do eventually go back to their various different bases. Tigra doing exactly what they can, putting the damage in, obviously onto this Guardian Druid on the side of Without Boost, doing what they can to get it down. We're looking at 6 stacks on the flag carrier at this point in Warsong Gulch. Is that going to increase at any stage? We'll have to wait and see. Looking potentially take the Warlock Portal. Doesn't look as though that is going to be the case. And but he does drop down. He drops down, and that's a return.
MFX, you naughty rogue. You naughty boy with that rogue MFX. DJ, you absolutely just soloed him. He was out of position. He didn't get... Olahino didn't get to his ears, and it looks like with that boost he's going to get this. Choice is allowed to defend it. Absolute textbook. What a carry from DJ Piz. Amazing. Love that.
That was fantastic. We spoke about how dangerous it was when these flag carriers are getting onto high stacks, and that is exactly what happened. Oleno dropping there. Looks as though he almost, I don't know whether he ran away from his supporter or they went across to the other side of the map, but it does seem as though he got caught out there by DJ on that rogue, which, again, you end up in that situation as a Guardian Druid with that many stacks, it's not going to look good for you.
Yeah, and looking at his cooldown as well, he has the 2 regeneration. He just got 1 more extra wall and the baskin, so it meant he died with his cooldowns up. He probably used his trinket, probably a quick recheap from DJ here or MFX, and honestly, this just puts without boost in the lead. They know how to convert this. Their tank will not pick, but then again, it's kind of good for last place here that they have a DH, because he can always try to find the tank and at least force some aggressive plays on him. But right now, without boost, they're in the lead.
Yeah, and taking a look, Licro, you see with that boost, we're seeing 1-0 from these two teams. What you've seen so far, who would you give the advantage to?
Right now, it's without a doubt this game is in the hands of Without Boost. He knows that he doesn't have to pick. All the pressure now is on Speedrun to pick. Olahino even drops the flag because he can see that Shadow Priest approaching him. Maybe not. Maybe he tried to bait him a little bit, but Mick isn't taking the bait. And now what Without Boost, all they have to do is they have to sit on the tank, but Hapik has opted to take the flag, and now he's going to get across the map. He has Incarn. I'm not sure if I'm a massive fan of picking this early. No, he dropped it. This is a very classic tactic. Try and bait them to come back. But no, Without Boost has read this situation so well. You can see Troy's already connecting. You can see Mick connecting the Shadow Priest. And then you can see DJ coming in hot. He's just lurking, waiting for the correct time to pounce. And now Hyoka's there as a big turret, and when this Warlock gets his damage rolling, then it's big trouble. The ring did nothing, something got through it. Revsy there to help him. Harley, Dora Shadow's close to him, but now he's going tunnel, Eddie. What do you think about this? I'm not sure if I'm a massive fan running into the team.
No, I don't like this here. He's running directly into the enemy, though. He probably knows that he has the ink. No, he's running to roof, it seems. Yeah, he's gonna do a ring around the Rose.
Flag duel.
Yeah, and the reason, flag dude.
That's actually so good though. That's so good for Speedrun though. He got the clone slowing him down, and now he's buying time for his team to get there. You can see Ethic moving in, but now Hapik just want to kite them. He's going to clone Olahino, try and get his team to connect. Those 5 seconds feel like 5 years in these intense games, and I imagine we're going to see him drop down and run to Graveyard very soon.
Yeah, but he's running to Revsy, though. That could have been a real big mistake. Revsy was waiting down there, takes so much damage, but actually manages to survive somehow, still getting through with the flag, going down through the tunnel. And is he going to be able to make it across the map? Under a lot of pressure from Revsy. We've spoken about how dangerous it is when these Demon Hunters do able to get uptime. And again, dropping really low. Oleno also under a lot of pressure here. Down comes the spear, not able to get away from there. Convoke potentially helping out. DJ doing what they can to see if they can get Oleno down before we obviously see the Guardian Druid on the side of Without Boost drop down. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but again, super close between these two teams on Warsong Gulch, Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. And Olahino here standing in between his 2 healers here. It's quite nice to see. But speaking of that, it seems like they're under big pressure here. Revsy here with the Rogue and the Priest offensive. It's only a DJ. And Olahino's under pressure as well. He's going for the spot. I think both teams think they're gonna kill, but we see now he did get away. And he's going to his base now. They can't catch him. Olahino needs to kite.
Yeah, Olahino's just tanking it now. He's tanking it in the spear. He can't do nothing. What ABC needs to do is he needs to keep him top. But the Warrior, Nick dropping solo, but they keep him up. And now he's going straight back in with the connection. Olahino, I expect him to be dying very, very fast. Yeah, he's down. He's down for the count. He played this so wrong, Eddie. You know as a tank man yourself, you cannot stay in one spot like this. You give the time to... You give the chance to the enemy to get to your FC, and they're just using him as a target dummy, and the tank can't do anything. He needs to run.
we see the cap without boost going up 2-1 against Speedrun. We do have just under 7 minutes left here, and that to me felt like a miscommunication. Oleno going into that position. Did they manage to get him?
No. But it's major. When he catches a druid out of form, it is cooldown once. We saw the regen used as well. And Revsy, look at the uptime, half HP.
Yeah.
His backup is coming now. Okay, Hapik is gonna get away, and Hapik is the Russian tank here. It's we can read the letters. We have experience, but he will cross. It seems like.
Yeah, it does look like he's getting across. And I do want to point out, like I said, it felt as though there was some miscommunication there. Oleno going into that position because they felt the kill was coming through on Hapik, obviously, that Guardian Druid. It just didn't happen. And Oleno didn't move from the position. It felt as though Oleno was there forever when they hopefully could have maybe gotten out into a much better place in their own base. But without boost, playing it beautifully, keeping the uptime, and there was some clutch heals coming in as well. The survivability on the side of without boost was admirable during that.
Absolutely, and even just then, I just saw Tiger make a great play to make sure Olehino gets through, and now Hapik's waiting there. He's running to it. It's no problem. Maybe Olehino thinks they might be lucky and get it, but unless they can get a very lucky fear, but they don't have any rogue, he's going to pick it, no problem. Hapik still has the Incarn available, and in my opinion, he's even Emerald slumbering right in their face, Eddie. The BM, the disrespect. If I was Hapik, I would probably be looking to press Incarn when I'm running into the rogue. He knows that he doesn't want to press it into a Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter's going to have uptime anyway, and he's not the CC class. The second that rogue starts to connect, I expect to see it come out though. And did they kill him? No, they killed Ethic, so this is fantastic. I imagine they're going to try and kill Revsy here, and then once Revsy goes down, they're going to run across the map. They don't need no Incarn now. They're running free. These boots were made for running, and that's just what he will do.
Exactly, and this puts a really, really tough position for Speedrun because they need to make sure that they can take this. They have less than 5 minutes remaining. They need to get another cap. They need to get this flag off Hapik. But looking at the support that Hapik has around him, I can't imagine that's going to be happening anytime soon. So there needs to be something special from Speedrun. They need to really get these numbers going. But once again, the danger of that is they step too far forward. It does mean Oleno dropping super low. I believe they are able to keep him up. He's still sub 50%. So this is super risky for them. If Oleno goes down here, this could be it. This could be it for the game, but it looks as though Oleno's able to get away. But once again, looking around, he's just surrounded by without boost members, luckily stabilizing, but again, super risky for Speedrun Last Place Any %.
And luckily he got away there, sorry Lico, but if we look at Unohilio, he has no cooldowns left. Yeah. This is the last seconds of his Incarn as well, and the whole enemy team is waiting for him in their base. I'm pretty sure that Happy got a free cross, a free ticket to his own base here, and Unohilio will probably die here. The Sharpen from the Warrior, the big dome from the Priest, and this is why they're playing two Priests as well. I asked why they didn't have a Pala. It's because of the double dome. They simply feel like two big domes is better than the sack. I can disagree, but that's just me. And here, he's just kiting in even Tafsir in Unohilio's space, like they're running ring around the roses with them.
But you've also got to remember, Eddie, look at Speedrun's healing com. They don't have that Holy Paladin. They've opted to play for 2 discs. Unohilio actually can't kite too much, or else the disc trees will never be able to connect him. I think they've played this all wrong, and now with their boost, he's just running ring around the roses, just as you say. He's running free, like Free Willy the Whale. He's chilling. Like, he's no problem. He's got no pressure on any of them. None of the Speedrun boys are on him. And Unohilio, he's used in Wall and Bartskin now, Incarn in 24. I don't think this is enough. This is the Siphene from the top. It's the barrier. I just don't see him surviving more than the next 2 minutes.
And that's the last barrier too, like they have no more cooldowns left in the defense. Unohilio has his Baskin coming up. We have no...
Yeah, and there we are. There we are.
The There's the return, and it looks as though we are going to get a 3-1, unless there is anybody across the other side of the map, but I can't see anybody here.
Tigra?
Actually, is Tigra going to be able to pick this up? Tigra did, yeah.
Oh no, they're playing it safe. So what they're doing here is they're playing it safe. He knew, because Tigra was already getting to the flag spot before him, he knew if he drops the flag, Tigra inherits all of those stacks that have already been gathered up now, and it should be an easy kill. Reset the stacks, play it safe. He knew it, and it's more of a safety. He can always go back and re-pick the flag. And look, they've dropped it. They pass it off to Revsy because he's the fastest.
Yeah.
And this is the smart thing to do. People often think try and get it, but keeping the flag there was the wrong decision. And now they're going to connect Revsy if they get the swap.
They get a swap. He's at the CC. He's playing Glimpse. That's why he couldn't be stunned by the Warrior. It's same play, and the Kyrian Spear is stopping them. Ulahenio has not had the flag yet. They still need to get the swap. It's kind of... Oh, he did get the flag now. Incarn running across. But as we see, Happig is waiting in their base, ready to pick up the flag.
Well, yeah,
exactly, and that was a beautiful play from Happig. It again is one of those situations where you think, well, why did he drop the flag? But actually, it worked out perfectly for them. Stalled this out. There's 90 seconds left here, and unless something goes really wrong on the side of Without Boost, you've got to imagine that they are taking this first game in the best of 3 series, and they played it perfectly.
And you've got to remember now, Happig has all his cooldowns back. Taff is still running on and on. Without boost out, the whole team's in their flag room. This is still a dangerous position. If I was Troyes, I'd be sitting close to that flag cap spot just in case. But the Siphene comes out, and Siphens now take an absolutely ridiculous amount of time. But Ulahenio goes down just as expected. And if I was without boost, I would just, oh well, it got repicked by Revsy. Revsy, he might even try to commit to the kill, then try and meta back up. However, Revsy's going to be an easy kill. Once Revsy goes down, they will drop the flag. There is no need to keep these stats. But Revsy's surviving, and well, Happig has no one on him, honestly. He goes down. I expect to see it be dropped.
Honestly, yeah.
Drop the flag, Happig. Drop the flag, Happig.
No, he's going for the
30 seconds left.
Yeah, Ego plays now. This is all for Ego, and I respect it. I would do the same. No way I drop the flag here. I will run back to the enemy base as well. No, but on a serious note here, I am kind of disappointed in the defensive team we saw from last place here. Yesterday we saw great plays with the Warrior, with the Red, and with the Warlock in D, but I felt like Tough was always alone. They didn't have the DPS to kill off the offensive team from without boost, and we saw they were only healing with one healer offensive, and in the previous Warzone goals we saw how one healer is struggling against 3 DPS, so I'm actually wondering what they were doing.
Yeah, without boost playing that just absolutely incredibly well. And I do want to point out as well, there was a moment there where we obviously saw Eleno kind of waiting in that position where we've seen a lot of these druids waiting, and above them there was just a monk healer and a warlock. The monk healer was just healing everybody. Fashion was just healing his entire team. The warlock, we obviously saw Hyoka just plowing curses and spells into the opposition team, and at no point where they touched, there was absolutely no pressure on them from Speedrun Last Place Any %. And a great game from both teams, but you've got to say, Licro, without boost, really deserved that map.
Absolutely. After that first cap, they recuperated. They were probably saying in their voice comms, okay guys, let's get it together now, and they just decided they wanted to win. That is simply it. I've said it many times in my own groups. If I just say, okay, I want to win now, I don't want to play about, and that's exactly what they did. They showed up after that first cap. They understood what was happening. They read into speedrun absolutely perfectly, and they countered them with absolute flawless execution. And honestly, congratulations to them. A second game is going to be great.
I mean, Eddie, you mentioned then, the fantastic look at the map that they had going on. They saw that obviously they were 2-1 up. They saw that there was, someone waiting for that flag capture and just dropping the flag at that moment, almost perfectly creating a situation where, again, it just switched the pressure back onto Speedrun Last Place Any %, which they were already under immense pressure being 2-1 down. That was a